Yo, what's really good, people? Welcome back to the channel. Listen, I'm hoping this new audio setup is gonna be good enough for you guys to hear me perfectly. I got a new mic, got a new setup, did everything all of the YouTube boys told me to do. So I'm hoping it sounds crisp and you guys can hear me correctly, and hopefully you can enjoy the content. But if not, okay, Sarah, man, this is what we're running with right now. Anyway, today we're going to be talking a bit about Robin. He's gone back in his hood and he's left the UK. If you're on the waiting list for Robinhood, you would have received an email within your inbox within the past couple of hours that would have told you we are saddened to share that we've made the difficult decision to postpone our UK launch indefinitely. We'll be closing our waitlist and taking down our UK website shortly. So I'm going to talk a bit about the reasons why they're leaving, or my thoughts around the reasons why they're not actually entering the UK, and obviously give you other options of where you can invest your money. So if you want to know all of that plus more, please like, comment, subscribe, help the channel reach 8k, follow on Instagram and Twitter, and we can get the world of investing out to more people. Please like the video, please share the video. It will really help the channel get out there to more people. So within your inbox, you would see that Robinhood have basically said the following: the world has changed a lot over the past several months and we're adapting with it. On a company level, we've come to recognize that our efforts are currently best spent on strengthening our core business in the US and making further investments in our foundational systems. Now obviously that's a lot of PR talk right there. That's a lot of PR bubble fluff marketing speak. You know, there's a lot of different things you can infer from that, a lot of different things you can deduce from that. Me personally, my personal take, and obviously it doesn't mean that I'm correct, this is just my opinion of why Robinhood is not actually launching in the UK, is that I think they've spent too much money trying to launch in the UK. If you remember, Robinhood was meant to launch back in, about 2019, around November mark. That was when they said it would be the very end of 2019. So I think it was meant to be really probably around October. You're talking about burning around 10 months worth of cash trying to set up in the UK. Now starting a business from the technology through to the rent, through to the infrastructure, through to HR, through to processes, through to staffing, through to the legal costs. There's going to be so much costs that would have been involved in them trying to get set up, and what they would have had, in my opinion, is a certain break point, and that break point is when they're going to have to start generating some revenue in order for this venture to be viable. And by venture I mean in launching in the UK venture to be viable. Now I would have assumed that would have been obviously by the end of 2019, then they extended it to around the first quarter, then they extended it to the second quarter of 2020, and obviously now we're about to launch into the third quarter of 2020, and Robinhood still isn't here, and they're obviously burning money on a daily basis. So they've said they've basically come to realize that their efforts is best spent strengthening their core business in the US, and that might actually be true. Maybe they've got certain investors or certain shareholders or partners that are basically saying focus on the US market, and you might actually generate some more revenue over the short to medium term and then come back to the UK later stage. But I do think that this is a big L for Robinhood, to be honest. I think this is a big L. I think they had a great opportunity to take a decent market share into the UK, and I think they fumbled the rock on this one, to be honest. What I don't really like is them blaming it on the whole COVID situation. I can't really see how COVID, personally speaking, has had an impact on Robinhood. They're a business that could easily run remotely. Most of their infrastructure is based out of the US, and they might have certain instances or spin-offs for the UK, but more from a a maintenance standpoint and an operational standpoint. But their core development, their core technical infrastructure would still be what they have in the US. So that's not going to really change or be any different. All of their staff members could work remotely because this is a tech business at the end of the day. And to be honest, out of all of the industries that is doing well during the COVID situation, it's not retail, it's not finance, it's not healthcare, or maybe some healthcare stocks if they're doing pandemic vaccines, but generally it's tech companies. Free Trade's definitely done well during this period. Trading 212's done well during this period. Robinhood US must be doing well during this period, and I assume they would have done well during this period and they could have actually capitalized on it. So I don't think it's a COVID situation, even though they want to kind of infer that from the paragraph. I believe they've just not had the ability maybe not the staffing, maybe not the right team members, maybe they didn't have the right capabilities personnel wise, but for whatever reason they've just not had the ability to launch within the UK. And for me personally, they've missed a really massive opportunity. Now, originally when I signed up for the Robinhood waiting list, it was quite a big deal for me. I was using free trade. There was only about 300 stocks, and I thought, yeah, I'm going towards a growth strategy, so this is going to help me quite considerably to obviously find a lot more opportunities and, you know, generate wealth in the long term. But to be honest, I actually forgot I was on the Robinhood waiting list. They've taken so long, and the only reminder that I ever got that I was on the Robinhood waiting list was quite simply when people would use my link and I would get an email to say I'm back to number one in the queue and so forth. Since getting Trading 212, with obviously them having about 3,000 stocks there or thereabouts, you know, to be honest, the whole choice of stocks thing doesn't really matter to me anyway. I'm not going to be able to research 5,000 stocks anyway, so I think there's completely enough choice between Trading 212 and Free Trade, and Free Trade have continuously, you know, increased obviously the amount of stocks on their platform. And then you've got new entrants coming into the market like Stake, who's got 3,500 stocks coming, and more platforms will be coming into the UK as well. So for me, I don't think this is an L for any one of you guys that did want to sign up to Robinhood. I did a little bit of a poll on my Instagram. 70% of you said we don't really care. 30% of you are a little bit pissed, but for those 30%, I'm speaking to you guys right now. I think whatever it is you wanted to do with Robinhood, you will have the options to do somewhere within the UK ecosystem. The only thing is maybe options trading might be a little bit difficult, but you know, we'll see what happens in the future. I'm sure someone out there will come and, you know, give you that capability and give you that option. I personally think Free Trade must be really happy right now. They're probably all dancing naked, just wearing their Free Trade socks right now, just, you know, living it up. And it is obviously good news for them. They just reached 200,000 subscribers. You know, despite what anyone thinks, I think Robinhood would have been a considerable competitor for Free Trade, and would have eaten into their market share quite considerably. And now, you know, that's a big thing for them, that they don't have that competition sitting there waiting for them. The only thing they've really got to worry about is Stake and Trading 212, and, you know, Stake is pretty new. I don't know how much users they've got, but obviously it would be, I would say, you know, probably not even 5% of what Free Trade has at the moment, so they're probably good on that front. And Free Trade have only got to really focus on Trading 212, and then obviously trying to still take people from Hargreaves Lansdown, AJ Bell, and, you know, all of the other platforms that they're trying to still market share from. So yeah, I think it's good news for Free Trade. It's good news for Trading 212. It's not really bad news for all of you investors out there. It's only really an L for Robinhood personally. They missed a big opportunity, and yeah, that's my personal opinion on it. It's really interesting because I got another email as well, because I try and follow, you know, what's going on in the tech space on a number of different levels. And here you can see commission-free online brokerage Robinhood added $320 million to its Series F funding round, bringing the total to $600 million and giving the company $8.6 billion valuation. So they've added, or they've raised another $320 million in that round, bringing the total amount that they've actually raised to $600 million, and that's their new current valuation. So obviously they are trying to raise a lot more cash in order to continue their operations. And I personally believe, because this has come out as well, and because of me receiving both of these two emails on the same day, I do believe that the story is linked between the two. So I do definitely believe that, you know, probably one of the conditions to raise the money might have been that you focus on your your US operations, and you just get rid of the idea of expanding to the UK, and you just sweat the US market as much as you possibly could. I personally think that's a very viable option. Having worked in startups and worked in, you know, funding for VCs, I kind of have seen a little bit of how they can put conditions attached to the money, and so, you know, you can raise the money and it can all look good, and, you know, you can take your picture and be on TechCrunch, but ultimately behind, you know, all of the smiles, there is some contractual stuff that you have to agree to, and sometimes it could be quite restrictive. And I think personally, in the case of Robinhood, they've probably been directed to cancel their UK operation. So, you know, we'll see what happens there. Maybe they'll do it at some stage in the future. I probably think they'll probably IPO before that's even going to happen, because they're sitting at Series F now, and there's not really that many more rounds before you actually think about going public. So, you know, my prediction is Robinhood will probably go public in 2021 or something along those lines. But yeah, listen, I'm going to end the video there. Like I said, it's not really too much of an issue that Robinhood isn't launching. It's, for me, an L for them, and for you guys will find wealth and opportunities in many other platforms anyway. I'm hoping the audio sounds alright. If it doesn't, don't get on to me. Honestly, I can't be bothered. And I will catch you next time with another investment video. Take care, guys. Peace.